Everything we do is going to be about winning. Okay, we're going to learn to do things the right way, and that's the only way we're going to do them. Because if it doesn't help us, we're not doing it, man. That's just as simple as it gets. Win the Super Bowl.
That's
I
good.
mean it too. You know, one of the things that the only reason you become a head coach in this league, in my opinion, is to win. That's it. That's the bottom line. If you do it for any other reason, you're wrong.
Hey, Washington football fans, welcome back. I know, you guys are wondering, why the hell do I keep making videos about a guy that isn't even on the team? But, hey, today I at least have footage for you guys of his college play to try to show you why I think he's best suited to play linebacker. First of all, I'm just throwing my thoughts on a player that could be helpful to the team, you know, and what he could do specifically to help the team. You know, it's just like a lot of content creators out there like throwing out how Julio Jones could help the team because, you know, he was, you know, available for trade. Well, this is a guy that's a free agent, and these are my thoughts how he could help the team. Because I feel pretty passionately about the untapped potential that Obi Melifonwu has. And the fact that he already has a connection with our defensive coordinator, Jack Del Rio, who drafted him, and Garyon Conley, by the way, who is another possible career revive candidate that's only 25 years old, you know, just saying. Both these guys missed out on their chance to really work with Jack because of rookie injuries and then Jack losing his job. But with this whole thing, unlike the sure thing that Julio would be, you know, what he would have provided to, you know, any team that traded for him, I'm trying to think outside the box here with Obi, as like he hasn't like had a chance to like really get his career going in the NFL, and right now he's sitting there as a free agent, and I just think it could be different here with this coaching staff and at the linebacker position that just matches his athletic ability and physical profile so much better. It would greatly reduce the amount of field that he's responsible for. And I think that could really lead to him shining out there and basically being a Jamin Davis clone. I think he's got crazy potential, and I just would love to see the team give him a look. Okay, let's check out Obi's combine numbers here again. Like, just look at this, man. 4.440, 4.3 shuttle, 7.07 3 cone, 44-inch vert, 11.09 broad at nearly 6'4", 224 pounds. This guy's a freak of nature. And if you look at him here, stacked up next to Jamin Davis, our first round pick this year, good God, imagine having these two together. Like, just look at their numbers all, like 4.4 40s, 4.4 840 for Jamin. Same, I mean, there's 10 pounds difference here, but Obi's aged a little bit, so he's probably gained that extra 10 pounds. Obi just edges him out in the explosive stuff, 2 more inches in the vert, and a big 9 inches in the broad. Just, their numbers just match up so crazy good that, man, why wouldn't you want to give this guy a shot at linebacker? And So let's go ahead now and we'll go on to the combine footage just so you can see it in action. Just so it's not, maybe it's a little more, so you can absorb it a little better instead of just reading it as a stat here. Let's take a look at the actual combine footage we got going on here. And now let's roll this beautiful combine footage, shall we? Starting out with a broad jump, and damn, 11.9, and it looks absolutely effortless. This guy's explosion is just ridiculous. I feel like he could tap into that a bit more on this team, where, you know, Coach Rivera and guys like Chase Young amp you up and they get you playing faster, and I think that could really draw out this explosiveness he has and, you know, bring him up to a whole nother level. That'd be terrifying to actually, you know, amp this guy up on top of the physical abilities he already has. Next thing we got here is his vert. And again, 44 inches is insane. That would be a huge asset at the linebacker level, being able to jump up into passing lanes and affect plays over the top that most linebackers really can't. It's an ability that both him and Jamin would have, and it would make it even harder to pass against this team. If they can't get to where the ball's going, they could at least block the lanes. And now let's watch this man run. Goodness. Now let's look at these 40s. Whoa. Just whoa. Doesn't even look like he's trying, but the dude is flying. Outside of all the coverage and run stopping duties at linebacker that his great speed helps with, just imagine sending this human missile on a blitz and the sheer terror opposing quarterbacks would feel.
You go for a man hard enough and fast enough, you don't have time to think about how many's with him. He thinks about himself.
Now here's some of the ball drills.
About to set down on him.
He's so fluid, moving in space. He could overachieve in a lot of like the cover 2 type stuff, where linebackers are responsible for dropping deep down the field, because, you know, he's a safety and cornerback as of now by, you know, trade. That's what he does. So he'd already have a huge leg up and be way overqualified for how linebacker, you know, their responsibilities are dropping deep down the middle. But, and he's got nice hands to boot. If you're watching these drills, he's got some nice hands too. I know these are kind of gimme passes, but in the drills, but I mean, you'll see later on, he's got some nice hands. And then finally showing off some strength here in the bench. Now, you'd like a linebacker to put up a few more reps, but it's been a few years since this, and just in growing up, you know, he's probably added a bit of strength and a bit of size since then. But if you watch his footage, he doesn't get bullied or anything on the field. And he can stack and shed well enough when he's coming downhill, in my opinion, to play well enough to play linebacker. Now, let's take a look at his college game tape, so I can, you know, try to give you reasons why I believe he could do all the things he would need to do at linebacker. Now, I'm not an expert on film evaluation, but I'm just going to go over the things I see that I think would translate very well to the linebacker position. And they all happen to be the things we're lacking on the team. So, here we go. First off, we have him coming from around the box, almost linebacker position, almost linebacker level, and coming up and stopping the running back before he can get out of the backfield. Also got a lot of plays here of him stopping him with very minimal gain. He's got his eyes in the backfield on the running back. He's just flowing across the formation, scraping by, fighting through traffic, plugging holes or shooting through gaps in the backfield. We've even got some goal line stops here where he gets push and just kills the running back's momentum. He shows good instincts and reaction time on his get off. He gets off early and he makes his way to the ball carrier and snuffs him out. And as a safety by trade, we got a lot more of the same stuff happening, but it's coming from deeper downfield, which, in my opinion, helps show off his speed and athleticism with how quick he gets from downfield to the right gap and makes a play. It's kind of special, kind of shows off that speed. You could also see him here in some plays, taking on blocks, pushing through them, and getting the job done. Something he'll have to do at linebacker all the time. That's part of the job. But there's some plays here shows he could do it. Also showing here how quick he sniffs out screens or like short passes underneath, and he gets to the wide receiver, stops him for no gain on some of the screens, or as soon as they catch the ball, no gain off the reception on down the field. And at the linebacker position, he'd be closer up, and he'd be responsible for these underneath passes where he can use his explosion and length to get up on them and break them up. Like some plays you'll see here of him at the goal line here, him, reaching around with his arms here and knocking the ball down, or see some other plays here of him, in coverage, breaking passes up. And there's some plays like I mentioned earlier that show off how well he drops and gets into deep coverage. Like he's coming out of the box here and dropping 40 or 30 yards down the field. And sometimes linebackers have to do that in cover 2 or cover 3. And on plays like that, you could actually swap him and Jamin, because he's got a bit more experience playing corner, so it would really help him out when in those plays it's usually the Mike's responsibility to drop down the deep middle of the field, and Obi could be there to do that and just far outshine, almost anybody else at the position in his ability to do that. Also, we can't forget about his ball hawking skills that, along with his athleticism, led to him being, a second-round pick, and he was pretty highly touted coming out. I mean, this guy can read and time the jump in a route so smoothly. His crazy speed and long limbs let him cover distance and make plays when quarterbacks think their guys are open. He just hits second gear and boom, he's in front of the receivers. Like quarterbacks were thinking, he's got a good 2 steps on him. This is for sure. This is a touchdown. And Obi's just like, nope. And just in front of him, going the other way before the receiver even knows what happened. All in all, I just think there's a lot of stuff he's done on the field that would make him a natural fit at linebacker. And with our coaching staff and this defense, I think he could be an almost instant star in the role he could play. And if not, even just as a backup that could spell Jamin if Jamin needs to come out of the game, this is somebody that you could put in because they're part of a very small group of humans physically capable of certain things. And I think, personally, that's worthy of at least a tryout, if not a roster spot. Just imagine if our linebacker group consisted of Jamin Davis, Gleek Hudson, Cole Holcomb, Shaka Toney, Obi Melifonwu, and Joe Walker. I know y'all sleeping on him, but that dude's a freaky athlete too, and I thought that was a sneaky good get. It could be awesome. Now, I know some of you guys might not even be familiar with like some of the guys like Hudson. We drafted him last year. He didn't do much, but he's balling out this year. Holcomb's good. Jamin Davis is going to ball out. I still am holding out hopes that Shaka Toney balls out. The linebacker group could be nasty with a guy like him. But I'll let this video be my last plea to the Washington football fan base, and possibly to the team if y'all are listening, to give Obi a chance as a possible linebacker for us. You guys can, shake the palm bombs for him too. Like, let's start a movement or something. Hey, give this man a tryout. I think it's a travesty to see a player with so much potential miss out because he's had injuries. And maybe, just because he's never been tried out as an optimal position. I'm not saying that I'm in any way smarter than people in the NFL, but they got a lot of stuff going on, and they're responsible for a lot. Maybe they're not thinking about, a 2017 second round draft pick that's currently available, like maybe they just need like a gentle nudge, like, hey, Obi Melifonwu's out there. That dude could probably be a great linebacker. But anyway, that was just my, I swear to God, I'm not Obi's agent or anything. This being like the third video I mentioned him in, but I just think he could help the team out, and yeah. So that's gonna wrap it up. Please, everybody, if you like the video. I know here in the off season, this time of year, stuff is super dry. I haven't been able to like make videos so much because there's not much to talk about. But, subscribe and hit the notification bell because I will be, coming up with some more content. And I'll be on it as soon as any news happens. And I love it if you came back and checked it out. And if you're still listening, you watch this video, I love you guys. Peace.